Hi, my name is Vivian Wolf, and today I'm gonna learn how to crochet. Okay, so first things first, I just kind of want to apologize if the video quality throughout this video just changes a lot. I ordered a new camera and it was supposed to arrive today, which is when I'm starting to film this video. However, they just sent me an email and were like, yeah, it's not gonna happen, I'm sorry. That's just what we're dealing with right now. I'm filming this on my iPhone with the front camera, so I hope it's not the most terrible quality. But yeah, that's just what we're dealing with right now. Hi, Editing Vivian here. Spoiler alert, the camera never arrived until today when I am editing this whole video. So yeah, this disclaimer was completely unnecessary and I'm a clown. Okay, so basically the reason why I'm making this video is because I spent a lot of time on the internet and I found this one crochet top on Pinterest and I thought it was really cute and I really wanted it. So I looked all over the internet for something similar. However, what I could find, it was just not similar enough, or it was not in a color scheme that I liked, or I found a lot of them on Etsy and they were just a tad bit too expensive for me because I'm broke. So I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna learn how to crochet and I'm gonna make it myself. So I just went on YouTube, looked for some tutorials, and I literally found some in 5 seconds. So what I planned out in my head is that I'm gonna need a bunch of these little granny squares. From what I measured out on myself, I'm gonna need about 14 squares for one round. So I'm gonna do 3 rounds, so it's gonna be like long enough to cover everything I want to cover. So we're gonna do 3 rows of 14 and then just close it together in the back. I also wanted to have like some ruffled straps instead of like the normal straps the picture shows, because I don't know, I just thought that would be cute. Okay, so this is everything I ordered. I ordered 3 different colors of yarn. So we have this dusty blue for the background of the squares, this for the flowers, and this one for the center of the flowers. I also got the crochet hook, which is 4 millimeters, which was the one that was recommended for this size of yarn. And I also got some weaving needles, I think that's what they're called, or wool needles, I don't know. And I also got these like stitch markers as a gift. Also, I'm a total idiot because this of course is not going to be enough yarn. I need like 43 squares or something like that, and for some reason I miscalculated it by a lot and I thought I was only gonna need like 14, which is not gonna cover anything. So yeah, I'm gonna have to order more yarn because I'm an idiot. Anyway, so I actually already made a couple of these squares off camera just because I kind of wanted to really make the first couple of squares following the tutorials like step by step, just so I could already have it down for when I'm filming it. I'm gonna leave the tutorials in the description box below in case you want to try any of this out, because this is not actually a tutorial, it's more just like an entertainment video and just kind of documenting my process of learning how to crochet. I definitely underestimated crocheting by a lot, especially like the little center parts of the flower. It took me 10 minutes to get like the first stitch right, so I was really frustrated. I got really frustrated. It took me over an hour to make my first flower center. I now kind of think that I have it down to a certain degree, however I'm still not a pro. I'm pretty sure that I'm still making a lot of mistakes. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you how I make one of these, and yeah. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna be making is the center of the flower, which is definitely the thing that I believe is the most difficult part of the whole square. So yeah, I'm just gonna take my yellow yarn and all I have to do is like do this thing called a magic circle, which I don't know why, but this was so difficult to me. But basically all you have to do is like take the yarn and kind of like do this with your fingers, like make a circle, and then you kind of have to go in with your hook and hook it in like this, and then kind of get the yarn in there. And this is the difficult part for me, like I don't know how to hold this.
Seriously, what the fuck are you doing?
See, that's the reason why I got really frustrated with that first one. So something like this, and then you just kind of take it again, and I think that's it. So then you're supposed to kind of go under, yarn this over, and then you have like these two loops, and you like take the yarn. Okay, there you go. And you're supposed to just repeat that 8 times, so I'm just gonna do that. Once you have these like 8 little stitches, you can just pull on this one end. You're supposed to take your hook and like hook it into the first stitch you made, and then you're supposed to just yarn that through there, or I don't really know what the terminology is here, okay? And then you just like go through that last loop you had there, and you just cut that off where your preferred length is. I cannot do this with my left hand. Okay, yeah, now that I've cut that off, all you have to do is just like pull little end through, and there you go, there's that little center. Okay, so for the flower, this one wasn't actually that hard to do anymore. Basically the tutorial said to start away, like ideally you just start away from these like tails. Usually I will like start like here on the opposite side, and I will just yarn this thing through. Now that we have it through that one of these loops, basically all you do is just like a little knot. All I did is like go inside the same stitch here and grab that yarn and created a loop. And now you have to make a chain, which this is basically the easiest thing I think about crocheting, is like making chains, because it's literally just pulling the yarn through one of these loops. So you need 3, so this is my 3rd one. Yarn over, go into the same stitch, get like a loop, and then you have like 3 little loops on your hook, and then you have to yarn over again, go through 2 of them, then you have 2 loops, right? Then you yarn over again, go into the same stitch, and repeat the same steps, and then you're gonna yarn over and go into 2 of them again. So now you have 3 on the hook. Then you're gonna repeat those same steps until you have, in the first petal you want to have 4. So when you have 4, you just kind of like yarn the whole thing through the 4 loops at the top, and then you just chain 2 again. So 1, 2. Now we're just going to repeat the same steps into the next stitch. So basically we are going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, grab this, and just repeat the same steps until you have 5 little loops on the hook. So you want 5 of these on the hook. At the end of the petal, again, when you like looped or hooked this through like the 5 loops, then you're again gonna do 2 chains, and then go into each little stitch we made in that circle. So we're gonna have 8 petals, and yeah, I'm just gonna do that, and then I guess I'll show you how to finish it off, which I probably am doing wrong because I just finished like my last petal. I did my 2 chains over the last petal, and now you're just supposed to go into like the top stitch here, I don't really remember if it's like the third chain stitch or the second, or I don't even know if this is a chain stitch where I just went in, okay? However, I'm just gonna take the yarn, go through and, oh no, and go through my little loop here. So that can't be right. That looks wrong. But yeah, anyway, you're not gonna really see that in the square, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. So now we're gonna go into the actual square part. So basically all you need is your little flower, like the piece in between the petals, the space in between the petals, and basically all you do is like you yarn your yarn in there, and again you just make a little, and basically all you do is again loop it through there, and then you just chain 5, I think. So, great. Okay, so now you're gonna do, I think these are called double crochets. So as with the petals, you're just gonna yarn over, go into that hole, come back out with another loop, go into the first 2. Yeah, that was definitely wrong. Wait, let me do that again. This is the reason why you're not learning anything from me. You're just basically watching me fail. Again, yarn over, go into that hole, take out another loop, yarn over, and go through these first 2 loops. You have 2 loops now, great. And then you're just gonna go in through those 2 loops again. And there you go, now you're left with the 1 loop again. So you're gonna repeat that 2 times again, 2 times in that same hole, so you have 3 of those. And then we're gonna come back later and finish that off because we're not done with that yet, but we have to do like the rest of it first. Okay, so now that we have like these 3 double crochets in this hole, we're just gonna go over into the next one, which is here, and again just gonna yarn over, go into that next one, and repeat the same steps 3 times. So we need again 3 double crochets in that 1 hole. So once again, we're just gonna start the same way, go into that space, do the same thing 3 times. Okay, now we're gonna do 2 double stitches, no, 2 chains, 1, 2, and we're gonna do another 3 double crochets in that same space, just form the corner. Okay, so now you can see how that corner forms like that. So I'm just gonna repeat the same thing, like here are 3 double crochets, a corner, 3 double crochets, a corner, 3 double crochets, and then we're gonna have to finish this part up. Okay, so I almost finished the square. All I need to do now is to finish this corner. So for that, we're just gonna repeat the same steps and do 2 double crochets into that space in here. Okay, so I have 1 double crochet in here, but for some reason I just cannot figure out how to make the second one. Again, this is not a tutorial. Okay, so now you're supposed to like finish it off. And again, I do not know into which stitch you have to go. I'm just gonna go to this one and hope for the best. So you're just gonna go through and go through that loop that you were working with. And again, just cut it off. And pull on it. That's the finished square. Now we have all of these like loose ends, which I'm just gonna weave in here with like a wool needle. So this is what a complete square looks like. So there's no ends in the back. Wait, which one's the back? This one's the back. So you can see any ends, they're all woven in. What I need for that is just one of these wool needles. All you do with this needle is like weave or like pull it through like different parts, and then you just put the end into the loop at the end of the needle, and then you just pull it through so it's secure, and then you can just cut off the end of that. And then I'm just gonna do that with all of these little ends. Then in the end, it's just gonna look like this with no loose ends. Okay, so it's been about 24 hours since I started crocheting. I have 15 squares, I think, done. This is the yarn situation we're in. I still have a ball of each color of these two. From what I'm seeing, I'm gonna be able to do about 17, I think, squares, like finish these two, and then I'm gonna be out of the blue one. And I need 42 squares, I think. So I'm definitely gonna have to order more blue yarn at least. Okay, so it's been about a week since I last checked in with you. And I finished all of my granny squares yesterday, and I already started to put them together. So basically what I have now is this huge thing of squares.
Oh my god! Wow!
I still have about 6 squares left that I have to add to this. Now all I need for this are my wool needles. And then I just take a piece of yarn and I put the correct side with the next correct side together, and then I just have to, with the yarn and the needle, I just basically sew in like up here. I think I might have made some mistakes along the way because I definitely have some parts where there's like a bit of like holes in here, which I might go back and fix. However, I just decided that this part where I started to like put them together, where it's a bit more wonky, I decided that that was just gonna be the back part of it. Okay, so I finished joining all of my squares together. It's now like a tube top. This is literally made to fit me, but for some reason it looks huge. I also already made one strap. I wanted to show you how I make the straps. However, I found it to be a bit complicated, so I decided that I was going to, you know, make them off camera instead because I have to jump in to watch the tutorial a couple of times. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead, finish that, and I'm gonna check back in when I'm done. Okay, so I finished my little top yesterday. I'm wearing it right now. I'm gonna show you in a minute. However, first I just wanna take you through my whole experience. This whole thing took me about a week. I had to put in some days of not doing anything because I had to order more yarn and stuff like that. At the beginning, it was a bit frustrating because like I had to undo my work a couple of times because I did it wrong, and I had to learn to make all these stitches correctly. I had to learn how to have like the correct tension and whatnot, how to hold everything correctly, which was a bit frustrating at the beginning, but with time I got faster. At the end, I really enjoyed doing this, like while watching a show or whatever. I just really enjoyed having something to do. So I definitely think that crocheting is something I really want to keep doing. Okay, so this is what my top looks like. I definitely think it's a bit big, a bit bigger than I wanted it to be. However, that's fine. I definitely think I could have made it without one of these like rows of squares. That might have been a bit tighter, so it would have been a bit more like this. Some of these squares look a bit wonky, and I tried to place the ones that weren't that nice pretty much in the back. However, you know, like in the end, I feel like it looks pretty nice for being my first thing I ever crocheted in my life. Also, I really love these straps. I think they are honestly my favorite thing about this. I want to make so many different tops with the same straps because I really love them for some reason. Another thing I did was like this trim here at the top, and I also made one at the bottom. So yeah, that's something I kind of improvised in the last second. Also, if you are a long time crocheter and any of this made you mad or triggered and you were thinking, what the hell is this girl doing? I am really sorry. I did underestimate your art, but I really respect it now. So yeah, this was my video of me learning how to crochet. I definitely think it's cool that I found a new hobby that really relaxes me and makes me feel pretty proud of myself, because you know, it's like super cool to like walk around and be, you know, wearing something that you made. And yeah, that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a bit longer, I'm sorry about that. I hope we see each other in a future video, hopefully with better video quality. Let's hope that my camera someday arrives and that they didn't scam me out of my money, because that wouldn't be good. Hopefully see you then, and yeah, bye.